Hello everyone, it's Eddie the Magic Monk here. Today I want to talk about earning commission. So what is commission? A commission is basically a method of payment where you earn a percentage of what you sell. So people who get paid commission are usually people who are very good at selling stuff. For example, if you sell houses or computers or cars, if you're really good at selling stuff, usually you get paid a lot more commission. So let's get on to an example. John is paid a commission of 8% on all sales. So however much he sells, he gets 8% of that. So let's say he sells $8,000 worth of products in a week, which is pretty good. Alright, he makes $8,000 for the company, but he doesn't get all that money because the company has to pay for the products, the company has to pay for the rent for the shop and all of that. So he only gets paid 8% of 8,000. So let's do that. So find or calculate John's commission. Alright, so you go 8% of 8,000. How do you find that? Well, you just go 8,000 times, what does 8% mean? 8% just means 8 out of 100. Okay, so in your calculator, all you got to do is type in 8,000 times 8 over 100. So you can go 8,000 times 8 out of 100, like that, and you get 640. And that's how much he gets paid in that week. Now, a shortcut is, if you know how to do 8 out of 100 in your head, which is 0.08, you can also just go, so this is the alternative. Alternative method. You can just go 8,000 times 0.08, and that'll give you 640 as well. Same answer. Okay, so that's the first possibility. Now, you might get, on top of your commission, a retainer. So what that means is they will pay you sort of similar to a regular salary, weekly or monthly salary, and then they will also pay you commission. So in that case, even if you don't sell anything, you still get paid a little bit of money, which is pretty good. So yeah, if you are not that good at selling stuff, then you probably want some sort of retainer. You probably want some sort of retainer for your job. So let's say David sells $3,000 worth of products in 1 week. Alright, calculate his pay in that week. So then you go, okay, he gets paid, pay equals, he gets paid $300 a week, so that's 300, plus he gets paid 3% of 3,000. So 3% of 3,000, that's 3,000 times 3 out of 100. So I'm just going to go 0.03 because that's sort of a shortcut. So then you go 300 plus 3,000 times 0.03, and the answer is $390. And that will be his pay for that week. Obviously, if you sell more stuff, then you get paid more. So that's the life of a salesman or a woman. Now, in some cases, you might not get paid any commission until you have exceeded a certain amount of sales. So in this case, David gets paid $200 per week plus 2% of all sales over 20,000. Calculate his pay if he sells 100,000 in a week. So his pay would equal $200 plus 2% of all sales over 20,000. So it's 2% of. Now, how much did he sell over 20,000? Well, he sold this much, but we need to take 20,000 off that to find out how much of this is over that. So 2% of 100,000 minus 20,000. So it'll be 200 plus, so get the answer of that from the calculator, and I'm guessing it'll be 8,000. No, 80,000, sorry. Times 0.02, and the answer would be $1,800, which is pretty good. Okay, now let's deal with real estate agents. Woohoo! Now, what happens when you're a real estate agent is when you sell a house, you get paid for the first $100,000 of the selling price of the house. You get paid 5% of that. And then for the remaining balance from the sale price, you get 2% of that. So you probably don't know what I mean until I do a practical example. So let's just say Sarah sells a property. Sells a property for let's say 600,000. Calculate her commission. Okay, it's probably going to be a lot of money because real estate agents, you earn heaps. If you're good at selling houses, right? If you don't sell any houses, then you're probably not going to make much money, or you're probably not going to make money at all. So 600,000, well, let's just do this part first. So 5% of the first 100,000. So let's take $100,000 off of that, because you're going to calculate 5% of that. So let's just do 100,000 times 5 out of 100, right? Because you're finding 5%. So this part is this part. 100,000 times 5% of 100,000 is, let's just put it in the calculator, 100,000 times 0.05. You get $5,000. And then 2% of the balance. So after you take off 100,000 from the sale price, so 600,000 take off 100,000. This part here is what the word balance means. It means what is left after you take off the first 100,000. So you get paid 2% of that, so times 0.02 or times 2 out of 100, same thing. So now that means I have 500,000, because that's what this part equals, times 0.02, and I get 10,000. So total commission earned by Sarah, right, would be 10,000 plus 5,000, which will be 15,000. Earned by Sarah, which is a substantial amount of money. So that's really good. Now the last thing we're going to do today is royalties. And basically it's a form of payment paid to people who own a copyright. So usually people who have created something, such as singers, musicians, book writers, so people who write really famous books, they get paid a lot of royalties, so much that they don't have to do anything else for the rest of their lives, which is, I guess, what you should be hoping for if you write a book. So yeah, let's just say John is an author who's paid 10% of sales from his book. So that's pretty good, right? Now, let's say his book sells for $2 million worldwide. Awesome amount, right? It's got to be some sort of famous book. So what are his royalties? Well, John's royalties equals 2 million times 0.1. That's what 10% is, and the answer is 200,000. Right, which is a lot of money. So that is the maths involved with royalties. Okay, I hope you guys learned a lot from today. It's been a bit of a long tutorial. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.